because I was like, I put it in my Discord. I was like, this is the moment that we've all been waiting for. Like, you know what I mean? I've been working towards this singular thing for 3 years. Like,
we're here, men. Everybody hold the line.
Dude, 100%.
Everybody assemble. They've all got fucking pizza shields.
Dude, I was out. We were out with my family. I was out with my wife and kids, and I got the notification, and I was like, baby, I need like 10 minutes. Like, I need to respond to this tweet. I need to quote tweet it. I need to put this in my Discord. I was like, this is the moment. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast, a show dedicated to talking about all the poggers things in life, like music, content creation, and video games. I'm one of your co-hosts, JesseKazam.
And I'm Veritas. I just wanted to do a slight correction. It sounded like you said podcast, but what you meant was Creamcast.
Yeah, sorry. Welcome to the Creamcast. Wait, listen, we're not gonna redo the intro, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yo,
it's okay.
This is the 99th episode. Okay, we can't forget next week.
What do we do?
I don't know, but we missed like 50, and I think we missed 55, and we missed 69. We missed all the like meme numbers because we just don't think about it. But last week I was editing the podcast, and I was like, okay, last week was 98, so that means this Saturday it's gonna be 99. You know what I mean?
We gotta, it's fucking like tweet at us or something if you have ideas.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we'll take like, I mean, we could answer viewer questions the whole time.
Yeah,
we could have fucking viewers. Like, some of this is bad ideas, so we'll just throw it against the wall and see what sticks. But we could have them like call in.
Yeah,
you know
dude.
What I mean? And yeah, I'd be down to make it a little longer if we want to.
Do something.
People, yeah, no, we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Delete secure container for 100. I'm more likely to just fucking delete Tarkov.
Uninstall. Yeah. But yeah, so that was a note. But how you doing? You've been streaming for a few hours? How's Tarkov treating you?
It's
classic.
Fine.
I sat down and watched you kill like 8 people on labs and then die to the last guy. I was like, rip.
Dude, I had 3 raids in a row where it was like I hear the fucking stampede of like 5 or 6 dudes, and it's like peek out, brah, kill 1, reposition, peek out, brah, kill 2, fucking reposition, and then the third guy was always like lay into them, they don't die, then I heal, and then I reposition, but then they've all split up, so then they're just everywhere, not making noise, and I end up dying to the 3rd, 4th, or 5th dude, and it's always so unsatisfying. Like, as soon as I kill the first, I'm like, press record, and I'm like,
you're like, this is gonna be
epic.
Sick.
You know, a 1v5 is sick, but like a 1v2 with a bunch of great movement, and then you die is like a trash can. Like, that just goes in the recycle bin, you know. It's not. So I always... honestly, like today I was mostly just depressed with like so many good epic like clip opportunities
that were squandered.
Yeah, it was more like I was gonna have fun and have this sick like clip, you know what I mean, like the fucking good old days, and when I die it's like, oh my god, now I just have like 3 fucking gigabytes of video I'm gonna delete later because it turned into nothing. And
bro, dude, it's crazy. We've talked before about like the difference between like daytime Tarkov and nighttime Tarkov on EST. You know what I mean? Like how it feels so different. Holy cow, is it exaggerated with daytime labs versus nighttime labs?
I still don't understand how.
God.
Do you mean like time of the day IRL?
Yeah, in real life.
Because
like
I know
streaming in the
like,
morning.
Isn't there like something about like day versus nighttime labs? Like,
I think that used to be like, I think that used to be a thing. I think it just like it's either static like factory now, or it like follows like one map. But that did used to be a thing. You used to be able to click night factory and then click labs, and you'd go night labs, and it looked the same because you're underground, so it would just be less populated. But this is like just in real lifetime, because like I've been doing a few morning streams a week, like Wednesdays or Thursdays. And then, dude, I do not play labs often. Like, you know what I mean? When I play labs, and I honestly don't run into a whole lot of cheaters on labs. It's just the absolute min-max meta mutants with voodoos, no armor, you know, free looking across the door, throwing nades that are like pixel perfect. It's just like I was saying the other day, it's like I'm not mad that those people play that way. I just can't compete, and I don't like that play style. And so like this is their domain, so I don't come here that often.
Yeah.
But Wednesday morning, somebody redeemed I've got a channel points things, and this is go Wabs, and it's like 75,000 channel points. You know what I mean? And they hit it, and I was like, all right, I guess we'll go Labs. And then I spent 2.5 hours on Labs, having the most fun of my life, dude.
Did you turn that into a video?
Yeah, I think so.
Already, because I watched one of your videos.
I think
recently,
so.
and honestly, I never fucking watch Tarkov videos.
Yeah.
Which one was it?
There's this is how is this how to be good at Labs? That was the one I posted like yesterday. And that was from those videos, from those raids.
Maybe I didn't watch that. I watched one recently that it just seemed like a bunch of fun. And I don't know if you edited or if somebody else edited it, but I was really down for the fucking editing style.
Did you watch the leg metal one?
Yeah, it was that one.
Bro, so that was a collaborative between me and my brother. My brother edited some of my highlight videos, and I actually wanted to get in on that one. I spent a lot of time on that one. I wish the video had done better. The thumbnail for that one is my favorite thumbnail ever, dude.
I liked so the pacing of it.
Yeah. I
know a lot of people want to see the slow and the looting and whatever, but I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can see someone 20 meters away or 200 meters away, and I'm like, I know what they're wearing. Like, I don't care what they have in their bag, and I just want to see the combat. So it's just like you see somebody cut to the fight, cut to the reaction. Like,
yep.
It was a good video.
We've been working on it. We've been trying to hone in. We've been talking to our friend, and I've been trying to hone in. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But anyways, it was like 2.5 hours of Labs, dude, and it was like every raid had like a max of 4 or 5 players in it. So the raids had players, but they weren't full. It wasn't 12 players. It was like kill 3 or 4 guys, and then you've got the map to yourself. All the fights, all the fights felt good. Even when I died, the fights felt good. I felt like I was insane. I was killing people, dude. And then Thursday, same thing. First thing in the morning, somebody redeemed Go Labs, so we did it. And then I spent another 1.5 hours on there because the raids were so fun. And then Thursday night, for the second stream, somebody redeemed Go Labs, and I was playing with somebody, and we spawned in. And I posted this clip to Twitter. I don't know if you saw it. But we spawned in, and he was like, all right, I don't really play Labs much. Like, what do we do here? And I was like, all right, here's the deal. We open this door, and then we die to the guy at the top of the stairs. And he was like, all right, I'm for it. We run up the stairs, and a cheater flies across the map, shoots me 10 times in the head with 8.56. I had a gorilla mask on, the Tagilla mask. 10 times in the head, I die. My teammate runs downstairs. He flies through the glass out of, into the parking garage, but up 10 feet, and then kills him. It was
what video was this? I think I've seen one fly hacker in all my days. So I
need to send you, I posted my perspective on Twitter, but I actually literally have the clip pulled up. I can send you his perspective. He's the one that saw him.
I want to see, dude.
Flying around. Here, I'll send it to you right now. Literally, it was like we played Labs so much the morning streams, and it was like we was just like, all right, 16-second raid, let's go. You know what I mean? It was classic Tarkov.
Yeah, it looked like in the leg meta one, you guys were rocking. Were you rocking the Tagilla helmet the whole time, or what?
Out for a little bit of it, yeah. We were. I mean, those were a bunch of kits. That was all night. I think I had a wrist tee at one point. I had a Tagilla helmet. You know, just chatting it up with the leg.
I've been trying to figure out if, I've been wearing. Historically, I never wore the wrist tee. I never wore the Alton. I never wore any of those things just because I wanted to sound whore.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I feel like I can hear the same amount of nothing no matter what I wear.
Yeah.
So yeah, lately I've just been wearing the heavier stuff.
Yeah.
Something feels different though, and I don't know. It's hard to say exactly what it is, but something feels different about every time I get shot. At least one limb is blacked every time.
Yeah.
I don't remember it being like that.
Yeah. For sure.
But it's like I peek out, I get shot, my arm's blacked, and it's like I fix my arm. I peek out, I get shot, my arm's. It's like what the fuck? Like every. I don't know what the deal is. And I haven't really thought about it too hard. I just remember saying out loud earlier today. Yeah. I'm like, it feels like every time, and then I peeked out again, and it was 2 legs, my stomach, and my arm. I fixed all of those. It's just like, yeah, it
Yep.
seems crazy. I don't see the guy flying. Let me see.
Wait, what clip did I just post? Oh, I posted. I didn't post the wrong one. I clicked the wrong one. Right before, so you have the one from Ben's perspective, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. You just slow that down right before he dies. The dude just is like flying out of the glass there, walking sideways. Yeah, he's like 4 feet out of the glass.
Dude, I can't see shit. It's so subtle. Oh.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. I see.
You see, and he's not jumping. He's not in a jump animation. You can literally see his legs
slow sidestepping.
Yeah, sidestepping. Yeah.
Okay, so I always
like 4
assume,
or 5 steps.
I always assume that when people say that like I just picture them flying 500 meters through the air. You know what I mean? Like not strafing out like fucking Indiana Jones in that one scene where he like puts the sand out over the invisible walkway.
Yeah.
Like it's seems a lot more. I would call that levitating hack, not.
Well, either way, he's not touching the ground. And that's literally the only time I've ever seen that. Like ever. You know what I mean? So it was funny. It's definitely not.
Is he a standee?
It's definitely not. Yes. He was level 13.
And what was his name? Like,
I don't remember. I have it in my on my clip. But yeah, he was level 13.
See you in lobby, nerd,
856.
M856,
856, literal 10 headshots. That's the helmet 810. I just fell over dead. It was nuts.
Yeah, that makes sense, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I want to check. Every time I die to someone sus, and I report them, I've been keeping track of their name, the date, and their level. Because you can go in and search their name and see.
Yeah, like if it doesn't show up, then that account's not active anymore or something.
Yep. Yeah. So like this guy, his name is fucking I'm literally God 1. He's level 31, and he's been that since the end of March. So for a month. Well, actually, he was level 29 on the 30th, and then on the 31st, he was level 31. And then he stopped there.
Yep.
Let me see. And a few people changed their names, so it's kind of hard
for sure
to tell. But yeah, I've got a bunch of them that are all exactly the same level.
Yeah. I saw someone on Twitter. It was like Tobias commented. Somebody posted a screenshot of a guy that was streaming and he had cheats on, and the person that posted the tweet was like, this guy, or somebody responded to the tweet and was like, nothing we can do. The anti-cheat sucks. This guy's been doing this for months. And Tobias, the one like in the community, he commented and he was like, false. He was like, this account is like 3 days old. Like Tobias just came in with the knowledge. Like, actually, this account's only 3 days old. This guy's been banned more times than I can count. And it's just like the disconnect of, you know what I mean? Like, people not understanding how the back end works, you know what I mean?
Dude, some guy commented on a Twitter post. God, I don't remember who or what it was. I just remember one of the responses from somebody. Maybe it was on like a Nikita leak or something. But he basically like, have you guys considered like getting an anti-cheat?
Yeah, dude. And didn't you respond to him or something?
Yeah, and I was like, you're joking, right? Like I had to make sure it wasn't a opposed law.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? I mean, I just thought, you know, like you could tell he wasn't trolling. He was like, no, I mean, I just figure
it would be better, you know?
Yeah, it would. And I'm like, you're absolutely trolling.
Dude.
And he had like a paragraph or whatever that was like genuine like interest in being like, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure why they wouldn't do it, why they would do this and that and try to implement. I'm like, it's like, Google BattleEye, and then I
launch the game and look for that. Google BattleEye, launch the game and look for that logo and see if you can see it anywhere. You know what I mean? Like,
download cheats, go in the game, use them, and then tell me when you get banned, who sends you the email.
Yeah. So it was funny. Like, obviously, I don't think, there's cheaters in every single raid and stuff like that, but it was just so funny that I had been loving labs. I've been loving labs. Which is so weird. And then we did a night one and it was just like instant, like, all right, back to Lighthouse. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, I played all my labs raids today were fine.
Really?
They were all like seemed totally legit 4-man squad, 5-man squad, which is like, honestly, I love that. I was able to kill 2 to 3 before I even took a shot.
Yeah.
And I was able to sneak up on people, and it was like not everybody had full knowledge all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it all felt legit. It was just, disappointing that.
Yeah, that is definitely, especially for a solo, and especially as the game more and more people play it in squads. Like that's a different type of frustrating. It's frustrating when you get cheated on. It's frustrating when the AI kills you, and it's also frustrating where it's just like every raid is like 3, 4, 5 PMC kills, and you just like can't extract from the game. You know what I mean? Like,
see, it's not even that. It's not even extracting. It's more so that it's the experience is over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It just reminds me of I for Pop Warner football. I went to when I was, I don't know, maybe like 13, I think. We went to the national championships because we won for our whole region, and so we ended up going to the Disney's Wide World of Sports, and we played there, and it was like this extended tournament.
Okay.
But we lost the first 2 games we played, so we were basically out, and it was just like, I don't even care that we lost.
Yeah.
It's just like I wanted to stay for like the week in Disney and keep playing, but it's like just the missed opportunity. Dude, you should have seen, we were all like 12, 13 years old. And because like we, living in the city that I lived in, the team would be 30, 33 people or whatever, and we'd have 32 kids show up, and it was like, this is the team.
Yeah.
We played like Little Rock, Arkansas, and Palo Alto, California, and they have like 400 kids show up and have tryouts.
Oh my God.
The dudes from Arkansas were like corn-fed 18-year-olds. They were huge, dude. They demolished us. And then the kids from Palo Alto, California, I'll always remember, the quarterback and the running back were brothers. They called them G1 and G2. I swear, I'm pretty sure it was Emmitt Smith. There were two Emmitt Smiths, because I played cornerback on defense, and I just remember like the dude going out, and it was like, I never even had a chance.
That's
dude.
So funny.
It was, they were just built different.
Yep. But I get what you mean. Like the experience is over, because it's all about building that crazy moment. Like I got 1, okay, I got 2, all right, I got 3, hearts beating a little bit, got a 4th, you know what I mean? And it's like, and I know the 4th one killed a guy. There's a lot of loot here, and then it's like dead. And it's like, I don't care about the gear. I can get the gear back. It's like, oh, I was feeling something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if I go into labs and I survive 3 in a row after killing a couple squads, like my inventory is full and full of a bunch of junk I'm only going to use half of, and like, so I don't even, like I said, I don't even care about the gear. But yeah, so I had on a kind of similar adjacent note, I had just shown a little preview without any context of like the first 9 minutes or whatever of a video I'm working on. So I mean, without saying anything, like what were some of your takeaways?
And it was basically just like 8 minutes of like patch 0.2 gameplay and like PvP.
0.1,
0.1 and 0.2,
and then 0.2. Yeah,
like. Dude, I mean, it is crazy. Like, I know you're kind of setting us up because we've talked a little bit about this in the past, but like, it was crazy how little like optics, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of the fights were iron sights, you know what I mean? And like,
I mean, we saw the PSO once.
Yeah, and like
Cotton.
The Bravo once from Drewski.
And that raid was offline.
Really? The Drewski
He was
raid?
like, I'm not taking this into, and he's like, I'm just going to see what the game's all about, because I don't want to.
Yeah.
He was like freaking out and shit playing it offline. Although I think you could take gear out at the time.
There was a time where you could extract with gear from online raids. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was crazy. The time to kill was Well, it's once again so funny. Like headshots have always been devastating. Those first few kills in the first few videos were just like one taps. Like the guys were just falling over dead. But by and large, then you go to the end where like, then that's what I was gonna say. What's interesting is like that last clip of the second video was Deadly behind the tree getting shot by the scavs or whatever, and it was like crazy how many shots he tanked and crazy how many shots he tanked before he lost a limb. Going back to what you were saying earlier, where like now it's like every time I get shot I lose a limb. Like he took so much damage before he lost any limbs, and
he didn't have a you know, an LPVO to look in at, you know, 4x or 6x to see where the shots were coming from.
Yep.
I mean, you right now all the optics are basically binoculars, but when you're getting shot at from 80 meters away in tall grass, I mean, it sucks when it's a bot, you know, because they can see you and you can't see them.
For sure.
It makes for some really cool PvP where like you can drop down and crawl to a tree and like you'll be able to actually make it, you know?
Yeah. Yep. And yeah, it really like it goes back to what we've been talking about, like watching that footage, like, you know, I think we kind of came to this agreement last podcast where it was like you could do so much to time to kill without actually adjusting any of the values of the ammo. But by making certain ammos rarer, by making suppressors and optics and LPVOs rarer, you know what I mean? Putting us back to like that, just like, it just felt so like guerrilla. So many shotguns and AKs with iron sights and you know what I mean? Like it was just so much harder to line up a really quick flick head tap when you've got iron sights and they're 30 meters away. When you've got a Voodoo, when you've got a Razor, it's really easy to line up the quick head tap. So it's just like, yeah, I mean, it definitely felt in line with that, where like there's a lot you could do to make, and at the end of the day, you're not increasing time to kill, you're increasing perceived time to kill. Like we said last week, time to hit, you know, time to react. You're increasing those things, and the time to kill is just the same. So bullets still feel punishing. Bullets still feel like when you make a hit on somebody, it's impactful, but it's just not as easy to do that.
Yeah, and I mean, I included as many like reactions to gear as I could. You know, like when Cotton was like, "Oh, he's got two big boy AKs." They were stock AK-74
with 60 round mags.
Yeah,
that was the iron sights
actually,
and 60 round mags.
A couple of them were 30 round mags, but they looked like the model was like a smaller 30 round. I'm not sure about that clip exactly, but every time I'd see them, they looked like 60 round.
But they were literally stock buttstock, no muzzle device, iron sights, and he was like big boy AKs, baby. And then when Drewski got out of that factory raid, and he was like, oh, and we don't always get that lucky. He was like, finding an AK, killing a guy with an AK. He was like, man, that's like 1 out of every 20 raids, he said. And then he found he was like, oh, he's like, there's a red dot on this one. Like he was so hyped that he found an AK with a red dot on it.
Yeah, man.
It was crazy, man.
And it feels so weird from that perspective to think about, like, you only had a few optics and there was only, you know, 4 rifles or whatever in the game. So it would, I don't know how it would feel.
And that's what I was going to say.
150 rifles and finding a rifle was 5% of the time, or you know what I mean? Like,
that's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say the two things I was going to bring up from that perspective is, one, there's so much more gear in the game now. There's so many more sights. There's so many more LPVOs. There's so many more long range scopes, and there's just so many more guns and calibers. It definitely, like, I don't know how to do that. You know what I mean? I don't know how to make it where like you can still experience everything in the game, but not everything all at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that is hard. The other side of it though was like it's so hard. I would love to show Nikita those clips and ask him what he thought about it. You know what I mean? Because like they put like they've said forever, right? That like that he wants all the guns in the game. Every time somebody asks him, is this case? He's like, yeah, soon. You know what I mean? Like we want a model. Like I know that they're so passionate about that, but like I wonder what their end game is with that. Like, I want to hear from him. What's the end game as far as, like, not necessarily balance, but, like, availability? Like, obviously, you want as many guns as possible. But sometimes I wonder because, like, we definitely know that they do this. When they add a new thing, they add the new thing cheaper and more available than it should be. And that gets as many people using it as possible, which I'm sure from a testing perspective is good, because we have had instances before, right, where like you'd shoot the underbarrel grenade launcher that was found in like the first few and it would crash the server. You know, we've had times where you could put a thermal in your secure container, but it would still be on your gun, right? And if you only found thermals in Tarkov 1 out of every 1,000 raids, it probably would have taken forever to find that bug. So like we know that there have been really weird bugs before that have required, you know, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of players playing to like uncover this bug. So we know that they do that. They always do that. They add a new gun and it's overpowered and it's cheap and it's available. And then once everybody has used it, they scale it up, they make it more expensive. And I'm sure that in some way that's strategy. They're like, we've modeled the gun, we've tested the gun, we think these numbers feel good, we've QA'd it. Now let's get 100,000 people using the gun, make sure it's not broken. So that's when I always try to tell people, it's like, people are like, this needs to be balanced, this needs to be balanced. I was like, I don't think they talk about balance in their meetings. I think somebody just goes, they keep complaining about 9 mil. He's like, all right, we'll take 9 mil away from the traders. Like, I don't think the conversation's ever like, well, how is that going to affect? Just take, if they're complaining about it, take it away. Because it feels like if I'm BSG, balancing everything would just require doing that so many times. Like then we add this and it's, oh, well, we want it to be cheap because we want everybody to use it. And now it's this. Okay, we got to rebalance it. So I wonder that kind of similar thing with like, they just keep adding gear and adding gear and adding gear. And I wonder if there's this like, if it's like on their list of like pre 1.0, like let's say patch 13 comes out and they're like, okay, what do we need to do to ship the game? Let's balance the guns. You know what I mean? Like, is it not going to happen until then? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Isn't balancing though like explicitly, like hasn't Nikita basically said like there's no like we don't want balancing?
Yeah,
like,
but
rifle calibers. I mean, to me, maybe balancing the loot pools and the availability as opposed to the performance. Like I can see them.
Well, that's what I mean. But that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about loot pools and performance.
Saying, like, taking all the time to kills and making them all.
No. Okay, I'm saying like. Will they? I'm saying like, is that, I want to know, is that like a thing where they're like, we're actually not going to worry about balancing availability of things until the end? Because if we balance the availability of things and then we add all these new things, we need everybody to try these new things. So these new things won't be balanced, but everything else will be balanced. Then everybody will use these new things and then everybody will call for us to balance it again. And then we'll have to rebalance it. And then the next patch, we're adding all this new gear. So I wonder if they're just like, if the community complains enough about something, it gets changed just because. But like they're just, and it seems like they're just not even talking about that until the end, because
dude, it
requires
right
the least amount of work to just do it at the end when everything's in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's the right thing, absolutely the right thing for them to do that, like later, all at once.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's really
there are shortcuts.
It's really a question. Like that's what it seems like they're doing.
Yeah,
because if I take myself out of a gamer shoes and in a developer shoes, like in anything, in businesses I've run in the past, in streaming stuff, it's just like you never want to force yourself to do the same work over and over again. So like if I take myself out of the gamer shoes, I can see that if they've got a laundry list of guns being modeled and new calibers and new ammos and new types of things like explosives, they're teasing landmines, like the thought of like, all right, putting 10 or 15 people on balance the game. Yeah, when point 13 comes out, you're going to have to do all this again, by the way. Like, it's like, no, let's just get them all on this or on this. But if that's true, then while I'm in the gamer shoes, it's super annoying because everything is just like available and, you know. I don't know.
So I mean, what I was saying was that it's that's the most convenient, most logical thing to do. There's that, but then there's the idea that like we can what we can expect from them is basically what they've shown us in the past. So it makes sense that they would do that. I don't have any confidence that they're going to do that.
Yes.
So then there's that piece. But then there's also like, here's what I would do. And this seems to me like a no-brainer. You'd make everything much rarer than it is, like across the board.
Yeah.
The number of guns that spawn in raid, make it fucking 5% or 10% or whatever it is, and then distribute it equally between all. Like, take the number of fucking rifle spawns and divide it by the number of, so that you never have to change that dial, and then have there be 2 or 3 things that you just added to the game that crank up the thing.
Yeah.
So for a week or 2, everybody can use the mutant, and then we all get sick of the mutant. But now they've gotten enough testing and shit in with it.
They turn it down.
And then now everything is back to being rare and whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, there are upsides and downsides to all of that. But
of course. And like, go ahead.
Yeah. So, I mean, to me, the biggest thing, though, is there's so much that they need to learn about that balance, that imagine that we wait until 1.0. I'm assuming they're still going to add guns and stuff after 1.0.
For sure.
If they don't have any experience, they have tons of experience doing a whole bunch of other things that they're fucking terrible at.
Yeah.
So if they don't have proper experience understanding how it's really complicated to figure out the spawn rate of an individual item in a particular spot where there's a bunch of different of those and figure out how does it translate to the number of X guns, number of mutants in the average person's stash, right? And if you want something to be rare, if the average is 3, you fucking failed, right?
Yeah.
It should be 1 out of every 100 people should have one of them.
Yeah.
So it's like they have to back engineer whatever it is to get to that place. And I just don't think what Nikita's going to do is he's going to say, make the trader sell 25,000 and then make the spawn rate X%.
Yeah.
Without having any idea what that translates into.
Yeah.
When it comes to flea market availability, or when it comes to barter trades,
and that's the other thing too, is like when you look at something like 0.2, 0.1 versus what we have now, like in 0.2, 0.1, you had 2 enemies and it was scavs and players, right? And that was it. So like now, it doesn't matter how rare mutants spawn in the world. I can get them very effectively by just farming rogues on Lighthouse. Yeah. It doesn't matter how rare a Golnik is from the trader. Killa spawns with it in exorbitant amounts 50% of the time he spawns. So it's like that's the other side of it too, is like it's gotten a lot wider with like we have like 3 more traders than we had in 0.2. So like they all sell more gear. All of the traders sell more gear than they've had before. We have more enemy types. We have more maps. We have more like, and so there's just so many different ways. So balancing it, like if they balance the loot spawns, like static spawns and raid, without properly balancing traders, it doesn't stick. It doesn't land. If they balance all of those things well, but they don't balance what the AI spawn with and how, effective, easy they are to farm, it doesn't stick. You know what I mean? I've gotten most of my, like, everybody's mad that you can buy 762 BP. I haven't bought any 762 BP this wipe. Like if everybody's like,
I buy it every reset and I have 1,800 rounds. I can't go through it fast enough. I have 3,000
rounds and I haven't bought a single round from Proper. Like everybody, but that's the thing. Everybody's like 762 BP is boring. It's too, which I agree with. Like, oh, there's too much of it. Get rid of it from Proper. It's like, that's not the solution. You know what I mean? It's like, I still walk out of Lighthouse with 300 rounds. You know what I mean? You can still walk out of Labs with 300 rounds. It's not just that. It's we have to look at what happens in raid and out of raid to make that happen. And I agree with you where it's like, I'm scared that if they're like putting it off, like, let's just do one big balance pass. If they don't really know if they don't know how to do that when it's time to execute, then it'll be frustrating. But that's why I want to say, like, dude, I'd love to get like freaking Nikita back on and ask questions like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, I've never heard him ask that question. Like, what is loot? Like, okay, Nikita, you guys are the best in the business at modeling guns. You guys are the best in the business at sound design and all this stuff. And you've obviously made that your bread and butter. You want every gun in the world to be in the game. But how do you see that playing out at the end? You know what I mean? You've always said you wanted this to be a survival game. Is it going to be rare to find any of those guns? Is it going to be like, because there's a universe where that's actually super sick. There's a universe where the fact, like, let's say that now there's like 80 rifle class guns in Tarkov right now. If they were all like Drewski said, like 1 out of every 20 raids, if you still only had like a 5%, then that's on one hand almost like infinite replayability of like, oh my God, I found a mutant, or like, holy cow, I found a HK.
Yeah, you only get to
like,
use it,
so
sparingly.
few and far between. So that would be kind of cool. But that's the thing. Like, I don't think I've heard him talk about that, or anybody from BSG talk about that. Like, what is the goal? Has the goalpost shifted? Do you like the fact that everybody, is it more, because that's another thing that the community doesn't understand. The community wants balance in the sense of like balance all of them so they're all equally as effective. We want to be able to have all of them at any given time, but if they're all equally as effective, then there would be variety. And that's not wrong. But is that what BSG wants? Do they want it to where we have access to all the guns, but they're all equally as effective, and therefore you have a variety of guns? Or do you want them to be super rare and you don't have access to everything? I don't know anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, he's talked about that a few times before that I can remember. But it was always, I don't think he knows. So asking him isn't going to do anything, right? What he's always said is, we want everything to be much rarer, right? Like, it's not post-apocalyptic, but like we use that as kind of a shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
There's nothing really coming in or out except for these back channels, whatever. So everything should be rare and the availability should be, whatever. Okay, well, talk to us about how you're going to implement that. I mean,
yeah,
I don't think... Part of me is like, I don't think they've even thought about it. And then part of me is like, I can't really, I don't know. Like, it would be impossible for them to answer that in a meaningful way without knowing how many maps there are going to be, how many players there are going to be, how many guns there are going to be, what changes they're going to make to restrictions from traders in the flea market. And, if when 1.0 comes out, they ban all guns and armor, and any decent ammo from the flea market and all of the traders. So you can buy like an AKS 74U and like some, back in the day how you could really only buy like 2 guns from, a couple of the traders. And then and then they kept the loot spawns the same. They've already infinitely changed the availability of weapons.
Yeah.
Like right now I can go and I can buy, 6 MP7s, kit them out all the same way. And then I'm just playing MP7 all day long.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, there's an infinite... They could keep them on traders and limit you to 1, or they could have a global limit without individual limits. Like, there's so many ways they could do it.
Or if all the traders are going to be physicalized, that changes things too. Like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I genuinely don't know if they like have all the answers or none of them. Like, I don't know if like they know how they want to execute on that, but it's just not worth doing now, or if they have no idea and it's like, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. You know what I mean? Which is like super dangerous because it's going to be rough. I don't know anymore. And I would love to, I don't know. I mean, I would love to know about a lot of things, right? I'm not saying that we get to, but it's just like, I'm just very interested when we're talking about that footage. Yeah. Like it's super interesting, and it would be super interesting to have that similar vibe, but with the ability to find all the things we have in the game right now. Like that would just be like, so like, I want to get as pogged out as Drewski did to get an AK to now, but find a mutant or an MPX or an HK or a G28 or a SA58. You know what I mean? Like I want to be pogged out of my mind to find these things. Or if I go farm the rogue camp, I want to feel like I worked for it. Yeah. And not, alt lean right side peek, killed 6 rogues with 6 headshots, looted them up and got out in 4 seconds. You know what I mean? I want to felt like I know that I can get good stuff here, but I have to battle for it. You know what I mean? It's like,
and it should be a fun, rewarding, challenging,
like in
balanced
DayZ, man. Like DayZ, I don't know if, like, I know you've played a little bit of DayZ. I'm back on watching JLK's videos, by the way. I watch like one almost every single day when I'm eating my lunch.
I told Nice Guy, we hung out at PAX pretty much the whole time. And I told him about JLK.
Dude, so good.
But, so he's on his list.
But like in DayZ, the Northwest Airfield is always like it's where the best loot spawns, and it's the like PvP, center of the map.
I've never gotten a kill there. I've been like twice.
Oh yeah, I've only played DayZ a few hours, but you know what I mean. I want that I want a similar vibe there as like, you know, the rogue camp, right? Like I want to know if this is where the best stuff in the game is, this is where I'm going to have to exert maximum effort. But that's not how it is right now. You know what I mean? Like I can, you know, with certain keys and certain stims, I know that I can just get to this room before anybody else and then get out before anybody else gets there if I get a good spawn. I know that if I go lighthouse, you know what I mean? Like with an SR25 and a vortex scope, as long as I'm hitting the right angles and you practice it a few times, you can get all the rogues before any of them ever even know you're alive, and then you can loot up and leave. It's like I get kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I've died to the rogues. The rogues are super broken. If you mess up the run at all, you're dead because they're broken. But like, I genuinely feel like AI scavs are harder to fight. You know what I mean? Than rogues. You know what I mean? But the rogues have infinitely better loot. So it's like I want that. Of course, we keep throwing around the term balance, and I know it's not as easy as that. But like, I want the balance of like, if this is where the best stuff is, it requires maximum effort, and it feels like that's not always the case.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's so many moving parts, right?
Of course.
There's like, where is the loot spawning? Is it behind scav bosses and rogues and raiders? Well, then that you can have the spawn rate be 50% if you're only going to fucking survive 5% of the time. So then there's that, but then there's also the whole unknown around, like, let's say you have to go through factory, through customs, and through labs. So now you have to survive essentially what would be 3 raids if you want to leave with the shit. Now they can have the 3 times equivalent of the gear because you're only going to make it out. So again, there's like an infinite number of things. And I think Nikita, if I were to put myself in his shoes, I would think that if anybody were to ask him that question, or anytime he thinks about that question, he probably just gets like stressed. Yeah, because he doesn't fucking know. And, you know, he's just going to like, it's going to be rare because he knows what the goal is from a high level, but he doesn't know what they're going to do to get there. But again, I mean, it's just like quests, right? Whenever I bitch about the quests, people are like, oh, it's a beta. They said they're going to rework the quest system. Well, yeah, but the problem is that they also said they were going to add dailies. And when they added dailies, those were like they were being worked on for not only for a long time, but also for at a time that was way after I had been personally talking to Nikita and putting out numerous videos 3.5 years ago about why the quests are bad. Yeah. And all they were tiny little rebranded versions of the same shitty quest design. Yeah. So it's like, they're going to do a rework. Okay, well, we can just all stop complaining, but then don't be surprised when they do the rework and it's just like every quest is now 3 of the shitty quests combined. Now you have to do bullshit plus get the pocket watch plus do another thing. Isn't it good? And we're going to give you a little bit more story. And there's a cutscene. Yeah. There's a cutscene with virtual reality fucking Prapor talking to you. Oh, it's a fucking redesign. Yeah. You know, so we just don't know. We can't know. You know?
Yep. And I think once again, I think some people just fundamentally misunderstand. Like, I'm reading chat, some people like, not everybody's a Chad, or I don't think the game should be so hard. Like, people just don't understand that, like, it's not, you know what I mean? Like, fixing the rogue camp doesn't make it only easy for Chads. It's actually the opposite. You know what I mean? It's like, people just don't, not everybody's a Chad, so we shouldn't make the rogues better to fight. You know what I mean? It's like, if like new players can't beat the rogues, because if you're new to the game, everything about video game design tells you should be able to shoot these guys and they'll die, but they're terrible game design, so they just see you through walls and they kill you anyway. And then if you're a Chad, you can exploit the system, and you know the system. So it's like, it's just so weird where it's like the current system makes it super easy for the people that have thousands of hours in the game and very unintuitive for the people that don't have a lot of hours in the game. And when we're like, yeah, man, like, this is one of the, like, they should move around better, they should work better, their aim shouldn't be as good, and it should require a lot of effort to get the best loot in the game. People are always like, yeah, but not everyone's a Chad. It's like, exactly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I literally don't understand, like, I don't get it. But fundamentally, it's we want to make the game more intuitive, and then it's like every single game has difficulty, right? Like you can't just spawn into, you know what I mean, as a fresh character in a game and then go to the final boss and win reliably, a new player, right? Like pick.
Oh, dude, I heard Elden Ring was fucking easy.
Yeah, it's like somebody sped-run it in like 9 minutes or something like that. You know what I mean? It's
on a
like
first try.
The freaking like. Every game has scalable difficulty. So when I talk about if the best loot in the game should be hard to get, if you're scared because you're not a Chad, well, then there should also be other loot that's easier to get and medium loot that's mediumly hard to get. Like, I don't know what the hell. Not everyone's a Chad. It's such a stupid answer when we're actually trying to make the game better for newer players and harder and less predictable for Chads. But if you were one of those two people in chat, there's my answer. Anyways.
I just realized every single map, the difficulty is breeze.
Yeah.
Except for labs, and it's easy.
Labs is easy, boys.
Thanks a lot.
Labs is easy. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that video was cool. What else is super interesting? So we can talk about like the current event that's going on and some of the stuff. This stuff kind of always surprises me, and I know that the teams are probably different teams, but like with how much they put into like the lore and stuff like that, I love that stuff personally. Like I have always been a huge fan of the added touches that they'll do to make those really cool pictures with stuff, and like the bog bus little skull guy that you can see all over Tarkov, and a lot of it's starting to come together. Like One Peg, who's here right now, has a really good video, and so does Nice Guy and a few other people talking about how like some of the guys that are like referenced in some of those most recent letters, like have been referenced for a while. And like some of the most recent events, like the events that happened like weeks ago, and even events that happened in late last wipe, are all connected. Like the Raiders were like a few weeks ago, like a month or two ago, the Raiders were on Factory, and Tagilla was on Interchange with Killa, and like the reason for that was because like somebody was coming to sell information to the Raiders, and the Raiders are looking for Tagilla, so Tagilla went with his brother Killa, and then like that guy got captured by the Raiders that was supposed to sell the information, but he broke free. Then we learned that in this event, and in this event the guy that broke free came to Lighthouse, and he was like, I don't know where the hell this trader is, and that gave us a bunch of information about like apparently this trader is who's supplying a lot of the other traders in the game with electronics, but the trader is missing now. So now the current event is like level 1 on all the traders almost. There's like all sorts of barters for high tier stuff like BS ammo or Zuck armors or stuff, but they want electronics, AEACAs, Vertexes, VPXs, military cables, because there's some shortage. So like, I always love that. It always makes me think it's like maybe they do have a plan and they know what's going on. It's probably just a lore team, you know what I mean, or whatever. But I love that stuff. I love how they're like connecting the world, and like everything has a reason. And it definitely gave us a lot of interesting stuff about like this trader. He's like missing, maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe that's a little copium for the people that are believing that on the 28th we get the Lighthouse expansion, because that's when he's going to come back or something. But I love that kind of stuff. But this event has definitely been pretty interesting. This event feels like way more like lore focused than other ones. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like Raiders on Factory seems more like a gameplay focused thing. It's like we can come up with a lore excuse why Raiders are on Factory, but at the end of the day, it's like so we can all have fun on Factory, right? Like barters for high-end electronics. Like that doesn't, like you wouldn't know. Like if you weren't on Twitter, you wouldn't notice that, and you would play the game completely normal. So that was an interesting to have an event that was like,
yeah, I didn't even know it was an event.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's interesting to do that. It was like almost a specifically lore focused event that if you know about and you had a junk box full of electronics, you could get some really cool loot.
Yeah, I agree with you on the high level stuff. One of the things that seemed weird to me, and I don't know, I mean, maybe someone can like fill me in, but what low level players who only have level 1 traders have like a bunch of RFIDs and like It just MCBs and M cables, they're all going to sell them for as much money as they can on the fleet. It just, so it seemed weird, and that the people who have all the most of that shit are going to be the people that already have access to most of those items.
True. The flea market is a good point. Those items are more accessible than ever because of Lighthouse, though. So in the past, if it was like you need an RFID, where'd you have to go? Labs. Where the hell else were you going to get? For a long time, if you wanted an LEDX, where did you have to go? Labs. There was no interchange room. There was no shoreline room. It was like if you wanted a LEDX, you had to go lab, you had to go to the dome, and there was one sitting on the container full of goo. You know what I mean? That was it. But now, like, I don't scav often. I scav once a stream at the beginning. I do scav army, and I have found 100 ASAs. I've found Vertexes, RFIDs, military cables, Bitcoins,
I've got 5
GP coins.
junk boxes case full of those things.
Yeah, the Lighthouse is, but the good point, like the good point there is like, does the flea market in this instance undermine the point, right? Because like, if you can get the best stuff at this new better rate, well, then the value of those things on the flea market is going to then instantly skyrocket to whatever the ruble value of those things were previously.
Yeah, if you need 5 fucking RFIDs, then, you know, well, I mean, then RFIDs are going to be worth exactly 1/5 of whatever that thing is. Unless... And I mean, RFIDs were already some of the things have like military cables and shit, and aren't those like super expensive?
Military cables like 100K. Some of the RFIDs can be like 150K, but like certain things definitely came down in value. Like Vertexes used to always be like 300-400K, and now they're like 60K because of how often you can find them on Lighthouse, and because there's no barter associated with them. But because then what happens is if the value of all those items for those trades then skyrockets on the flea market, we know from the data of a lot of previous wipes is that newer players will almost always rather take money. So then, if
level
you know what
7
I mean?
Doesn't want a Gen 4 assault.
If you couldn't
250,000 rubles.
If you couldn't sell aces on the flea, and the new barter is 2 aces for a Zook Classics armor. Well, now if I found some on my scav raids or on my Lighthouse raids, you know, if the vendor price is only 70K a piece, I'll trade 2 for an ASA. But if you can sell aces on the flea, and literally the day the event happened, the ASA price went from 150K on the flea to 380K. Well, now if I find 2, that's 800K. I'll take the 800K. So once again,
maybe it's for all the people that put the shit in their gammas, and then they died, so they're not found in raids.
Maybe.
They can't sell them, and maybe there's not a whole lot of crafts available, you know, because I've been looking, not really looking because I just don't give a shit, but like, what do I do with, you know, the RFIDs that aren't found in raid? I mean, I think they used to be worth more than they are now.
Yeah,
I just checked,
I think
like 75,000, but like
crafts or a few things in the Intel Center, like graphics cards and stuff like that, but those crafts take like 40 to 70 hours. And
and so I just don't give a shit about that stuff. Like I don't want to go, and because usually what I have is, you know, like if I go look at a GPU right now, I've got a couple of Vertexes, but I have to go buy 10 print PCBs, 10 CPUs. I'm like, do I really want to go and buy 25 items, even if I can afford it, to wait 91 hours to make a GPU? And GPUs only cost 300K on the flea market right now. Yeah, so, and to buy 3 VPXs is 300K. So you're literally losing money. You're paying just 5 days to get some crafting XP.
Yeah.
Is effectively what you're doing.
So once again, that was almost the question. Once again, it was like an interesting event because it affected gameplay so little. Largely, it just gave the people that already have 80 million rubles alternate ways to get the things that they get in excess anyway. Yeah. So that was just like interesting because but what it did do was it told us a lot of behind the scenes about this trader. We didn't, you know, he's a new trader. We don't know what he sells. He apparently supplies at least the other traders with all sorts of high-end electronics. That makes sense because he's on Lighthouse. That's where he lives, and Lighthouse is like a huge mecca for all of these items. a lot of this stuff is starting to come together. So it's exciting and it's cool and it's interesting. And I love that stuff. And I love the lore, and the lore feels intentional. I talked about this, I think 2 weeks ago, but like,
I wonder how much of this is like Lost, where they're retconning it all after the fact. Like, oh shit, yeah, they were add the thing in because they're just improvising.
Maybe.
They're like,
who knows? But like, but another thing was like, I think I talked about this 2 weeks ago. Like Gigabeef did a video on how the maps, like what open world could look like. Did we talk about this? Did I tell you about that? You need to watch Gigabeef. No. He's a Tarkov YouTuber. He makes great videos. He made a video on like what open world could look like, and he went around all the maps.
The video I was gonna make.
Well, yeah, his video was more of like really mapping out the map and not on how the mechanics of it would work.
Yeah.
So like he went in offline raids, dude. You can see so many more of the maps from other maps than I thought you could. Like you can see Scav Island on Shoreline from Lighthouse. You can see towers on Reserve, very distinguishable towers on Reserve from Lighthouse. Obviously, you can see Shoreline from Path to Shoreline.
They've been adding those piece by piece.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. It's like something intentional is going on behind the scenes. Like they're literally, they're adding, like the people that are like, open world, no way, what would it look like? It's like, it's literally in the game. Like we have the open world map almost. It's just there's walls. Obviously we don't have like the, it's pretty close together on, I don't mean like you could actually like glitch out of the wall and it's one open world. Obviously they have to work on a lot of stuff, but I'm saying like,
if you were, I've never done it before, but I've seen it. If you glitch out on, let's say Shoreline, and you go to look at all that, it's a fucking JPEG floating behind.
Yeah. But I'm saying,
to me, it could be flavor in the environment. I'm not saying that there's no open world or anything like that. I'm just saying that doesn't mean anything to me.
It just means to me that there's some intentionality on the back end of like actually making this world, this like part of the Norvinsk region, like actually fit together with all those maps. And if there was no intention, or if there were giant hiccups with like nobody's noticed, you know what I mean? So why would they spend the time doing it when they have much more important things to do? It was interesting. It was a really good video. It got me so freaking hype because you can see it all. You can see how it all plays out. You can see interchange looking buildings from here. You can see the woods landmarks from here. You can see this and that and the other. And it just like looks so dope. So I don't know, man.
I wonder how much of that, like, we've had the map forever now, right? With like suburbs and town and all these other places that have been like not there. But then I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look at some of the old, probably history of Tarkov videos. But like Terminal, I feel like has always been there, and Suburbs has always been there. But like, I feel like when they added, like, was Lighthouse always there, and was Reserve always there?
Neither of them were. I actually remember that. I remember I was very interested that they added those maps because neither of them were on the map.
You would think that they would start with the other ones.
I've been looking at Suburbs for 2 years. Why is Reserve popped up? And I don't know if that was like, I have no idea how intentional that was. Like, you know what I mean?
Maybe
like
they were keeping it secret, or maybe they're just like, we don't fucking know what we want to do for Suburbs.
Exactly. You know what I mean? It's weird that Suburbs and Town, which have been on the map since I started playing the game, have officially been moved to DLC maps, and Lighthouse and Reserve, which were never on the map until they were actually added to the game. You know what I mean? Like, it just, I wonder what decision making went into that for sure.
I've never actually read the descriptions. Town is the Verkenai urban settlement, is a small town by the seaside, favored by locals as an exceptional gardening and outdoor recreation spot. See, to me, that just sounds like the Lighthouse, like cottage area.
Oh yeah,
kind of.
Wait, that's like the description for Town?
Yeah. And then the description for Suburbs is the suburb and commuter areas of Tarkov, containing all the infrastructure and creature comforts for a long and happy life.
Bro. Oh, that'd be so sick, dude. Fighting through like housing developments or like a train station, you know what I mean? Like bus stations, like the public transport is. Like, bro, that would be so sick. But I don't know, man. Like, once again, I don't know. I am huffing the hardcore copium that they're just like brilliant. And behind the scenes, they've got it all planned out and it's going to be sick. And we just have to wait and be patient. Of course. Of course. I understand that. I recognize it. I acknowledge it. I speak it into existence. But that self-awareness of it will not make me stop huffing it. Because I just...
Have you ever read The Secret? Because that's what you sound like. You're fucking selling The Secret.
Oh, no. Secret. I don't even really talk about it because I don't want other people to get their hopes up. My hopes are just like sky high. You know what I mean? But I don't want other people. It's just like, we'll just see. We'll just see how it goes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, my cynical software engineer bit of me is cynical and software engineering. Now, what was I going to say? Like, I recognize that even if the person in charge, whether it's a manager at a company I ever worked at or, whatever, even if they had the perfect vision, the difference between one person having a perfect vision and 300 people pulling that off when a lot of that shit is delegated
100%.
And someone's just over. I mean, they're two separate things.
Yeah. Having the vision for how it all works together and executing that well is very different.
Yeah. And I'm not, I have a lot of faith in Nikita for a lot of things. When it comes to like lore and story and environment and design of those things, like 100%, that's going to be all dope. When it comes to game mechanics and experience and the design of features and balancing loot and understanding immersion and all those things, that's where I'm like, that to me is the make or break. Imagine Tarkov has the best fucking lore ever and it feels like dog shit and it's got bad net code. And as 1.0 comes out and 3 months into it feels like 3 months into every wipe and everyone's like, when's the next wipe? And Nikita's like, there's no wipes anymore. You know what I mean? Like, the game fails. I don't care how fucking good the fan fiction is.
Yep.
So
I get it. I totally get it.
And that's the hard part.
And the hard part, like in most other places, there have been moments of brilliance and moments of like, who's in charge of this? Like, you know what I mean? Where like sometimes things come together and we get surprised or something works really well. And then there's also been times where it's like, what? Like, how did you think this was a good idea? And then that confuses us because we're like, do you know what you're doing? Or do you not know what you're doing? And I don't know.
I recently asked Nikita, I wanted, I don't remember what it was. Oh, I have one of my many game ideas that I come up with every like 3 months that I have been, to me, it's less of like a, everybody's got that like cousin that's always starting a business and then the business goes out of business 2 months in and then they start another business and it's like, this is going to be the next big thing. And then 2 months later, they're like, yeah, no, I sold it or I got rid of it. And I'm into this. I'm into Cutco knives now. Or whatever. I mean, I most of the time don't actually expect to like fucking actually develop any of these games. It's entirely possible. But like, to me, it's mostly just learning about like, character modeling and 3D animation and all these other things. So, it's just a reason for me to do that. But I wanted to have a, what's it called? Not a proof of concept, but like, I forget the phrase now. Like an initial concept.
Okay.
Like a character concept, design concept made for something I was thinking about. And I reached out to Nikita. I was like, yo, and this was like 5 days after they had announced the 3 new scav bosses. And I mean, like, the lore and the artwork is top tier, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, do you contract that out? He's like, no, all that's in-house. Like, we have people for that. And they're really busy. And I was like, I couched it all. I couched it all with like, if they're busy, I don't want to take them off and it would be a free time thing. And obviously it would be, all this stuff. And I'm like, but, I'm sure they're busy with other things. So I just figured I'd ask. And he's like, yeah, they work for us and they're really fucking busy. So I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem. Like, I'm not going to fucking push it. I'm not going to ask anymore. But yeah, like, I bet you they have a team of lore writers and artists and all of that shit. I haven't seen anything yet that makes me think that. I mean, didn't they hire some dude from like Blizzard or some shit recently as like a game designer? And
no, he was,
but not even like
community thing, I think.
Oh, I thought they hired somebody recently that was like a game designer.
Yeah,
like
the lead community manager came from Blizzard.
Oh,
well, maybe he had anything to do with gameplay.
Maybe there was a unrelated to that whole fucking whatever it was, Blizzard or but I just recall him saying, maybe it was when I was talking to him about AI stuff. I remember him saying a few times, like, we have someone who's like the director of AI or like all these different game design, you know, like the lead game designer. And I just remember being like, they've been here for, you know, 9 months or a year. Like at some point they have to make an impact, right?
Yeah.
And if they're not, then I, in my semi-professional opinion, want to be like, you need fucking someone else, dude. You know, like, I've been in so many. I've either seen it in like the game industry or in the software industry that I've worked in, where someone comes in and within a couple of weeks you like find out they're terrible or they're like, holy shit, they're gonna change everything. Have you seen Band of Brothers?
No, I know.
You piece of shit. You piece of shit.
I know. I'm sorry.
Well, everybody else who isn't a fucking piece, like fucking clown idiot. God damn it. I'm literally, this is the first time I've ever been mad at you.
Dude, I'm sorry.
Bro, I'm going to buy you the DVD box set.
I'm pretty sure it's on HBO Max, which I have.
No, I'm still going to buy you the DVD box set so that you, when you look at it, you feel fucking guilty that you haven't watched it yet until you... Dude, watch it. Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Okay.
I wonder if that's on like Amazon, if we could do like a watch party.
Oh shoot, that'd be cool.
Dude, it's the I weep like every other episode. It's literally like, have you seen Saving Private Ryan?
Yes.
It's Saving Private Ryan, but better in like a 10-hour miniseries or 8 hours or whatever. I don't want to say anything else, dude. Like, you need to watch it. But anyway, to everybody else who's not a cretin, they'll know like the whole fucking, I don't remember what they're, corporal, captain, whatever, but then there was Dyke and then there was Spears. And those are the two different fucking people in charge.
Oh, at Battle
You don't want to be or Sobel, fucking Captain Sobel, which is fucking David Schwimmer, which everybody says I look like. So I remember somebody being like, "Yo, you look like Captain Sobel." I was like, "Oh fuck, dude, God damn it." Actually, I think I have an exclamation point Ross command in chat.
Oh hell yeah!
Have you seen that?
I've seen that. Yes.
Where I'm wearing the members only jacket.
100%. That's so
There was
good.
the day that I shaved my beard, but I had my mustache. I hadn't shaved the mustache yet.
Bro, so good.
Yeah. Anyway, but it's like I'm trying to figure out if it's a Sobel, a Dyke, or a Spears. Whoever's in charge over there. You know, it's like, do you have a dude who's spineless and inept, or do you have a dude who's a fucking complete and utter douchebag coward, or do you have someone who's just a motherfucker, badass psychopath? Oh, dude, watch it.
Okay, I will. I'm sorry, but yes.
When are you gonna watch episode 1? Like, you put it on the fucking calendar and I'm holding you to it.
Yeah, soon. I don't.
It's like Dark but better.
Okay, listen, I get it. I've been told, Adam's been trying to get me to watch it for so long. I'll watch.
We have to end the podcast. Like, we have to like cancel, like, I mean, like, with a capital C, cancel. Like, we're not holding any more
episode
episodes.
100 doesn't happen until I've started Band of Brothers.
Yeah, dude. No, like, finished it. Started, and you have like what, 6 days or something?
Yeah.
Okay, well, moving on. I'm gonna throw up.
All right. know what you mean. And yes, I definitely have those concerns too on like the heads of, you've got lore and then you've got people that can execute it and all that kind of stuff. I get it. And I agree. Have you seen any of the other stuff that Nikita's been teasing? Like really quickly, we can touch on. He teased a buttstock for the SR2 or the SRV, which is the SMG that shoots the SR1 and P rounds. I've wanted that in the game for so long, so hell yeah. And then did you see the landmine?
Yeah.
And all the shenanigans around that?
Dude, I like I said, when I was at PAX, the first thing I did was meet up with Nice Guy.
Yeah.
And then I walked around. I was only there for one day. I literally walked around with him all day long, and we were just talking about. So of course, he had me.
Oh,
he was
yeah.
trying to get me to drink at one point there was a cup with like some colored liquid, and he was like, "Just have a drink, dude. Have a sip. Have a sip, dude. Have a drink. Whatever. There's no fucking arsenic
you're
lace.
A son of Soon.
Yeah. But yeah. So I mean, of course, I haven't. I hate to be like a Debbie Downer, but I just don't give a fuck enough.
Yeah.
When it's in the game, I'll care.
Of course. But like, have you seen the videos
but I'm already
of it
dreading it.
in
I'm
real
already
life?
dreading. Yeah, dude.
Like it self-writes. You know what I mean? Like
it's some whack ass technology that I see. Like,
dude. You throw it.
It's not real.
No
it's
matter
fake.
and no matter how it lands, it'll put itself back up, and then it'll shoot tripwires out of it. And it can be. Devil Dog Gamer was saying that like they make them so you can launch them from RPGs too. Like you can like rocket propel them. You can throw them. You can just set them up as landmines. Like
don't give
they're freaking insane, dude. They're insane. But
Monka.
Yeah, super Monka. But it just comes down to, exactly what you said. Like it's basically irrelevant until it's in the game. Nikita just loves to farm that engagement by doing stuff like that, bro. He posted the most ridiculous picture in 14 seconds. You've got 88, freaking 2 World Wars guys posting pictures of exactly what it is. And then freaking, I don't know. It was just like, it was interesting. But yeah, who knows? That he's been doing some teasing of stuff like that. I mean, we can go ahead and just talk about this because you said that you've been you were in with Nice Guy, dude, and I'm sure you've been experiencing it too. This wipe nonsense, and yes, I am saying it is nonsense, has gotten so out of control. The amount of times people are coming and asking me if there's a wipe, like there is no evidence of a wipe.
It's not even that. It's like they're like, is wipe confirmed for the 28th?
For the yeah.
It's not even like when's wipe is it confirmed? So it's not even that. Dude, is it happening? It's definitely happening soon. But is it going to be the 28th or the 29th? Like,
the only evidence of a wipe is Nice Guy making a video and literally saying like, I think I'm smoking crack here. But this, and then that somehow became every third chat message is, so the wipe's the 28th, right? And it's like, that's like 5 days from now. You know what I mean? Like, I would
love it. Don't get me fucking wrong. I would love it.
No, that would be the worst, dude. Please, no. Like,
it would be the worst for like everything, right? But like selfishly, I don't give a fuck about anything. So like, but I would never advocate that. If it was up to me, I wouldn't flip that switch because it would be selfish and not what's like right for the community or right for the game. But yeah, like it would get me and I know a bunch of people back, like clean and back into like doing anything with the game
but back into what though? Like that's the thing. Like I've been saying this for a while. Like
a false sense of progression.
Yeah, Wipe has lost so much of its luster, in my opinion, because like it used to be that like it's always been that if you were newer to the game, you didn't want to wipe, right? Because like that's so like no, don't take all my stuff, don't take all my progress. Like if you only have a few hours to play, like it's always been when I was new, it was the same thing. Like the sentiment largely, not for everybody, but largely from newer players or players that don't get to play it. I was like, no, I don't want to wipe again. Like I just got the flea or I just got this. But it used to be if you played for a long time, you're like, yes, give us the wipe, give us the wipe, give us the wipe. I feel like so much of that sentiment is like slowly going away because it's like I'm so done doing these stupid quests. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the progression doesn't even do it for me anymore. I'm more annoyed now the first 2 weeks. Now, the fights and the combat are
well, I was
so
gonna
much
say,
better.
didn't we talk about, like, the last wipe was the best one in terms of how it felt because of the restrictions on the flea? It was the closest we've ever come to back in the day before, you know, you and a lot of other people were playing.
Yeah.
So the way that felt.
Yeah.
Because there was a false sense of scarcity for approximately 48 hours.
Yes.
When normally it's 6 hours, but.
Yes. So, but that's what I'm saying, though, is that, like, I'm getting tired of 2.5 to 3 months worth of work for 48 hours of fun. Like, just delete, like, literally delete all my rubles and make meaningful changes to the game. But let me be level 63 so I don't have to do these stupid quests again. Delete my 80 million rubles.
They've done that before where I mean, again, not saying that they should, but they've done it before where they are like, we're going to reset everything except for your skills or your whatever. Like, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, for sure.
So maybe there's a middle ground where it's,
I don't think so.
They won't reset your quests, but they'll reset trader levels.
Yeah.
But, you know, so maybe you'd have the requirements to, you know, you level 1 traders again, but you'd have to do daily quests to get the rep up high enough.
I don't think they will. Like, I think they're into, like, it's all or nothing. You know what I mean? And once again, I want what's best.
Too much work, yeah.
I want what's best for the game. I'm not trying to advocate that they do. I'm just giving my opinion here. But I just feel like Wipe has lost its luster because everybody's aware now. Everybody's self-aware of the fact that, like, this fun combat goes away in a week, but I have to do 3 months worth of quests. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just like, I'm like, when are we just going to get this good gunplay all the time? You know what I mean? Don't wipe again until you can promise me that, because this is super annoying. I don't know. Maybe
Jesse's fight every week he becomes more and more a fucking grizzled, fucking annoyed veteran.
Dude, yeah, I guess.
Remember back in the day? No, you don't. But back in the day where the wipe was every 5 weeks, dude. 100%. It was like, there was a wipe in November and a wipe in December, the end of December, and then a wipe in February. And that was the
second and third and fourth time you've done those quests, so it wasn't as frustrating. You know what I mean?
Well, there was also like 7 quests. We weren't even questing.
Your commute to work on your first week, if it's an hour long, you're like, you know, an hour's not that bad. But when you've been there for 30 years and you're like counting up how many hours you've spent driving, you're like, screw this. And that's where I'm at. I can't speak for other people, but that's what I'm saying. That's where I'm at. Is it's like, it's lost its luster. It's like, just like, you know what I mean? And I'm not even saying that they should do, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. But
I'm gonna have to make a progression of Jesse video.
All of that.
The evolution of Jesse.
The history of Jesse in Tarkov.
His hair gets slowly whiter and whiter.
All I'm saying is, either way, what I'm saying is that, like, whether you like the idea of a wipe or don't like the idea of a wipe, there's no evidence of a wipe except for a picture where the room number was 428 and Nice Guy, like, I love Nice Guy. He's one of my favorite Escape from Tarkov content creators, but he made a video where he was like, I could be smoking crack here, and this is like the most out of left field theory I've ever made in a video ever, but what if 428 means there's a wipe and Streets comes? And that, dude, no other evidence. Like, they've done...
Insert Uncle Ben quote here about with great power comes great responsibility.
They've done
Nice Guy.
so many mid-wipe events. There was like the water event, there's done Halloween events, they've done all sorts of events, but just because there's an event, pre-wipe, it's like for 2 years now.
And I haven't seen a single item that they added trades for. Nobody's using Gen 4 assaults. Nobody's using rebuy arts.
Entire years now, the wipe cycle has been December, summer, December, summer, December, summer. You know what happened, Veritas? People forgot how to math. Do you know how many people I have heard say we're 5.5 months into this wipe? 12/12, bro. The date this wipe happened is in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Do some math. We're less than 4.5 months into this wipe. And everybody's like, we're like basically 6 months into the wipe, and they always wipe at 6 months. I was like, dude, look at your
133 days. It says in Battle Buddy.
Calendar, bro. It's insane. It's crazy, dude. Like, and I'm not saying that it's listen, they can do whatever they want. And maybe Nikita mad trolls all of us deniers, and I'll freaking eat a pineapple pizza if it wipes. I don't care. I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's not happening. It's one of those things, like, I'm sure there's like a logical term for this. You've got all like the terms where it's like, circular logic, logical fallacy. I don't know. Isn't there a term for like, if you say on Wednesday, I'm going to get struck by lightning, and you do, that doesn't make you smart. It just like, because technically the strategy of that, like, you just got cosmically lucky.
I mean, I don't know about which fallacy it is, but it's, I mean, a fucking broken clock is right twice a day.
Yes,
enough
like,
people say enough dumb shit. Eventually, someone's going to be wrong by right by
and
accident.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm not saying there's no chance it wipes. When people ask me if I think it is, I say I don't think it is. I'm not saying there's no chance. I'm saying that there's no evidence that it will. So this piling on of like, wipe
You're
confirmed,
a wipe
right?
atheist. He's a wipe atheist.
Yeah, it's like suddenly I'm saying that the logic frustrates me. Yeah, maybe, dude, he's got that button. He can push it whenever he wants, but it's like, I just like, dude, it and now I have to answer the question 600,000 times a day. You know what I mean? It's like, sure, they can wipe whenever they want. Maybe they wipe Thursday. I don't know, but
Did you see the comment in chat? Oh, how you know someone is new to the community? Yo, Troy, how long have you been playing Tarkov? I need to know. Because he said no, wait, that wasn't him. He said, just to clarify, Pestily pointed out it was on Thursday.
That started the spiral? Yeah, dude. That happens every time, though. Newer people get sucked into his Thursday meme every time.
Yeah, he said it was Thursday.
Yeah.
But now I need to know. No fucking, no shade, my dude. But I gotta know. Like, bless his heart.
Yeah.
Oh, well, now I'm sitting there with fucking bated breath, waiting for 14 days to like pop up in chat.
Dude, I had somebody tell me that too. They were like, well, Pestily, somebody told me Pestily confirmed it. And I was like, well, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Like, if he confirmed it was with a tweet that says Thursday, just Google.
Well, why would he say Thursday though? If it wasn't Thursday,
Pestily Thursday, and look at how many tweets there are. You know what I mean? Like, it's, I don't know.
Yeah, and look at the date. If there's one thing I've found with doing the history of Tarkov is how effective it is doing a Google search and then going into like the options and filtering by date.
Yeah,
because I can go through and I can say Tarkov bug, broken scavs.
Yeah.
Between January 1, 2016 and January 1, 2017.
Yeah.
And I can see clips and Reddit posts from people being like, why are the scavs insta drop shotting? And then I can, you're able to see that, oh, this thing has been an issue from here to here to here. Google
also,
fucking Pestily Thursday and limit it to.
Also, like, we actually did this last time. Me and Ahmad did this last time because I was convinced it was 12-12. Like, I was like, 12-12 is going to wipe on 12-12. And Nice Guy was a denier of that. He did the whole, like, if it wipes on 12-12, I'll wear a clown costume. And then he had to do it. You know what I mean? And everybody was like, there's no way it's going to wipe on 12-12 because 12-12 is a Sunday and it always wipes on Thursday. And I was like, you have drank that Kool-Aid so much. And me and Ahmad went back and, like, of the past, like 9 wipes, it's wiped on Thursday, like, 2 or 3 times. Like, it's a meme. It is a meme. Sometimes they wipe on Thursday, but like 12-12 was a Sunday. Like, the wipe we're in wiped on a Sunday. Just because something is a Thursday doesn't automatically mean that it's gonna wipe. Like, it's crazy.
And I'm pretty sure if we go way back in time, I vaguely, and I'm like parting the kimono here, but I vaguely recall, and I don't know if this is like super secret or whatever, but I vaguely, and this might be a dream, I vaguely recall hearing the rumor that maybe Pestily was like, yo, dude, just wait like 2 days until Thursday because like, or whatever.
Yeah.
And something along those lines. I don't remember. Yeah, I forget the details, but he basically was like, yo, just do it on Thursday. And then ever since then,
Let
he
the
was
meme
like,
live
see,
on. Yeah.
it was on Thursday. So then every time after that, it was always the meme was when's wipe. and Pestily just says Thursday because it's the easiest way to dismiss the stupid question.
Yes. It's his like subtle way of like dealing with the frustration. You know what I mean? It's just like Thursday. Like that's just gonna be my de facto answer.
And it's a meme. It's a meme everywhere else. And then when people come in here, it's an unintentional meme because they're like, "Yo, Pestily says it was Thursday.
Yeah,
is that like confirmed?" And then everybody kicked W's and calls him a fucking three-head. And then I feel bad and have to explain. There's nothing worse than a fucking obvious joke that you have to explain to somebody.
Yeah. And it's just funny because, like, once again, dude, who knows? All I know is that, once again, if we use logic and reason, for 2.5 years, the wipes we've been settled into 6 to 7 month wipes. December, sometime in the summer. December, sometime in the summer. December, sometime in the summer. B, we're like 5 days away from Thursday, and the economy isn't ruined. We don't see raiders anywhere. We got one event that happened 2 days ago, but we haven't gotten another event that started. There's just like, there's nothing that leads me to believe that it is. Maybe like literally the room number and a picture that Nikita tweeted is all the evidence we have.
Well, except for the numbers, Mason. What do they mean the next day?
Oh yeah, true.
Which is more like,
yeah, I thought that was him. Yeah, I thought that was him making fun of the people that were doing that, like not the other way around.
I mean, here's what it is. Just Google Nostradamus. Or Harold Camping. You've seen fucking Camping at the End of the World, the Internet Historian video. Oh my god, watch it, dude.
Oh, that's an internet. No, I haven't seen that one.
I feel like
we've talked about
internet. Did I mention this? Videos. Did I mention this video last week? Dude, half the time I talk to my wife and I'm like, I told you about this thing, and she's like, no. Or half the time
it's like I was telling somebody else. Yeah,
it was either the podcast, my wife, or chat. I don't know who I fucking tell about.
I know exactly what that feels like.
Hey, did I tell you the other day that I watched 50 Shades of Grey? Oh no, that was chat. Oh, okay. But what the fuck were we talking about before I talked about
Camping at the End of the World.
And then, oh, right. So there's a guy, Harold Camping, who was like this super evangelical, like radio nut job, who basically was like, the world is ending on like this day. And he said it in, I don't quote me, but he was like 1999 and like 2001. And, he just kept, and his reasoning was like, if you read Ephesians 17:47, they talk about the lineage of Jesus, and there was 13 people. And if you look at the number of the characters of J on that page, there's 16. And if you multiply that by, he just made shit up. And this guy, like, people were giving away their cars and houses and shit. Watch the Internet Historian videos.
I need to.
It's so fucking good. But it's like, that's what.
But yeah,
it's numerology.
There is a through line, but it doesn't mean it's right. You know what I mean? Like, yes, it is it was on for, the room number was 428. We are in the month April, and the 28th happens to be a Thursday. But that doesn't mean exactly, like, the through line can be made up. You know what I mean? And so, like, so once again, it's what bothers me is less of like, is less of the like, do you want to wipe or not? Because that's super subjective. How long have you been playing Tarkov? How many times have you done the quests? Like, all of those things are going to factor into, do you want to wipe or not? So I don't care when BSG wants to wipe. When people ask me my opinion, I'll give my opinion. I don't really want to wipe right now, but I don't care about that. What it's just like, what's funny to me is just the logic behind thinking it. You know what I mean? I do not know for a 100% certainty that I will not get struck by lightning tomorrow, but I'm not counting on it. You know what I mean? So will it wipe this Thursday, 4/28? I can't tell you no, but I'm not counting on it. You know what I mean?
I just put in chat. I guarantee you this is fucking nice guys.
Dude,
wall. This is why he doesn't use a webcam.
Yeah,
it's
dude,
because his wall looks like that.
Like,
look, lighthouse is all the way on the right side. That's a childhood picture of Nikita in the middle.
Yep.
That's what his fucking wall looks like. And on the back, you see a bunch of, you basically see Twitch chat incarnate with like those big punch bowls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's That's my opinion. Oh, also the big thing was with Streets, which I actually haven't talked to Nice Guy in a few days, so I don't know if he's still 100% on the like Streets and Lighthouse expansion and Wipe on Thursday, or if he just thinks it's Wipe plus Lighthouse expansion on Thursday.
I want to say definitely no to Street. Well,
because he was the one that started the rumor that Streets could come out.
Yeah, no, I think. God, I don't want to speak for him now, but I vaguely recall him saying something along the lines of he would like love it, but he doesn't.
Okay,
think
well, he
that,
started
that,
it, so
that
I'm gonna.
Streets is coming out. Yeah,
because to me, like Streets is the biggest marketing opportunity this game's ever had. So like they wouldn't surprise us with it.
No, they would do it on a wipe. On drops, like
yeah,
there's no
that's
way.
Exactly. There's no way they're like surprise. There's a surprise wipe, and that wipe has Streets. Like what would make sense to me is if on this Thursday, 4/28, we get a 5-minute Streets trailer, 2 minutes of gameplay, 3 minutes of like them like with their dev tools working around the map talking about it, and at the end of the video they go Streets is coming next wipe ... and that starts like a 6-month campaign where they release trailers and they sell hundreds of thousands of copies. Like that makes more sense to me than like surprise here Streets. Like
what do they? Here's the thing. Do they need to do that, or do they want to do that? We know Nikita has basically either openly or subtly hinted at the idea that like he would rather the game not be so fucking popular because it makes it harder to do what they want to do, right? So
true.
I don't know. Like
I mean, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to say. He said that before, and then we also get drops events and 6 sales a year. So I don't know what they want anymore. You know what I mean?
They've never done marketing. In the same way. Like they'd make $1 bajillion and get 100,000 new players if they just wiped. If they did everything exactly how they did and introduced Streets because of all the hype that would come from YouTube videos and Reddit posts and whatever, it would probably be the same. Like, there's no way that they would be like. Months of fucking.
Well, I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying that makes more sense than, in my opinion, than surprising us with it. I don't know. But listen, I mean, he definitely has a point that it was like 9 or 11, I forget the number, months ago. We got the. We talked about this last time. We got the Cost of Concordia trailer. I was just gonna say Cost of Concordia because if I say Battle of Concordia, you're gonna say Cost of Concordia. So we got the Cost of Concordia trailer like 9 or 10 months ago, and at that point he was like, "Yeah, Streets is this part of Streets is ready. We just need to add loot." So I'll give him that. Like I get it makes sense that they probably have parts of it ready, but I don't know. Listen, and what's wonderful about thinking logically about this is that I have no pride. If I'm wrong, sick, dude. Like if it's like surprise here Streets, I'm not gonna be pissed I was wrong. I've been waiting for Streets for 2.5 years.
What if it's a surprise you get nothing and it's just white? Then you'll be pissed.
I would be pissed if they were like Lighthouse expansion isn't here yet and no Streets, but here's a wipe. I would be livid. Actually, that would suck so bad. Yeah, I think there's a, in my opinion, like greater than 50% chance we get neither the Lighthouse expansion nor a wipe or Streets, and we get like a trailer or a podcast. And like they posted a few pictures and the community took it out of control. And Nikita's like, frick. Like, oh no, that we don't have any of this ready. All I did was post a picture. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're going to get nothing. The community's going to be pissed, and they're not going to be pissed at anything because there were no commitments made from anybody. Like,
no, I bet you now Nikita's like, okay, well, I should have known better, you know, whatever. So what can we push out?
Known better? What if that picture was just on the 4th floor? In room 428. What do you mean?
Like, I mean, Nikita has said before that, like, yeah, that doesn't mean anything. And he doesn't do numbers, Mason. What do they mean? Like, the thing is that, like, sarcastically pointing out,
yeah,
by using, like, the humor against conspiracy theorists, like, imagine if the president was like, yeah, we've got aliens at Area 51. Everybody, like, the nut jobs would be like, he fucking admitted it on this day at this time. Like, they would dig in their heels. So you know, fuck.
I get it. I don't know. Once again, sure, it's possible. Everything is possible with Nikita, but it's just funny how we got here so soon. And what gets me is the math. It's that people are like, we've been in this wipe for 6 months, and I'm just like,
see, I haven't heard that.
I've heard that so much. I've heard streamers with 1,000 people in their chat be like, dude, we're like 5.5 months into the wipe, dude. Like, it's almost 6 months. They always wipe at the 6-month mark. And I'm like, do you have a different calendar than I do? Like, I don't.
January, February, March, April plus 2 weeks. So 4.5 months,
dude.
Yeah, but 4.5 months, 6 months, dude. It's just
the
round
same,
up, dude.
Just freaking round it. I'm like,
yeah.
What? So yeah, I don't know. I'm sure you've been made aware of the bug that's going on with like the tarps and stuff and the penetrating and the wall bang.
Yeah,
and
I
stuff
saw
like that.
someone's video the other day.
Yeah.
And now I have to watch the 17 fucking channels that all have news. I gotta watch them because otherwise I'm gonna get fucking asked about them. And what's more annoying than having to answer the question 8 billion times is saying I don't know and I don't care. So now it's like, yeah, it's a bug. Or, I mean, because usually half the time it's fucking wrong.
Yeah.
The shit is wrong, you know, like the no damage bug with the fucking flechette, double barrel, whatever. Like, so half the time I have to be the sole voice of reason. But, yeah, I've watched. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I just didn't know. Like, it's lame. Like, I'm sure they're working on it. I'm sure they're made aware about it. It's definitely a bug. It's not like a hearsay thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like we said with the shotgun, it was like, oh, that's a double barrel bug, but it wasn't. It was like an ammo and how stuff was moved, and that was able to be fixed. But this was like, that just kind of happened. Actually, I need to delete that. We can do that. This was just I wrote this, wrote in our notes, bad netcode versus bad game design. And I was just like, I was actually watching, like One Peg's video before we hopped on.
Well, that was your problem.
Yeah, I don't know why I would do such a thing. No, I was watching his video, like, he did a video on M61 being broken, quote unquote. You know what I mean? And like, basically, he was analyzing gameplay from Trey 24K, where it looked like, if you watch these clips at face value, like it looked like Trey should have won these fights. And so it was
was it like hitting arms or height over bore or netcode? Because that's the three things that.
Well, yeah, it was like hitting arms, height over bore, netcode, and like, you know, maybe shooting a gun that was zeroed for a different caliber. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and once again, it was less about me wanting to bring up the specific clips that One Peg was breaking down, but it was just, as I was watching it, I was just like reminded of like how many game design things around really the best example is like zeroing and how
not knowing if something's broken or intentional.
Yes. And we have these really pervasive, like I call them, you know, I want to call them memes, but they're not memes, like cheating. Like everybody knows there's cheaters in Tarkov, but anybody with more than 7 brain cells knows that not every time you die that it's sus, it's a cheater, because it could be crazy desync. It could have been this, it could have been that, it could have been this, it could have been somebody's shot, it could have been a third person, it could have been a ricochet. And then we have the same thing, desync. Like that's a meme, right? Everyone's like, the desync, it's so bad. And sometimes it is egregious. Sometimes it is so bad. And sometimes it's not desync. Sometimes you just hit him in the arm, or sometimes, like, you know, we watched back or when we were talking to Deadly, you know what I mean? It was like, watch your clips back. So many times you're like, oh, you just didn't see the fourth guy. You were shooting at this guy. You said it was desync and it wasn't. So we have these like really pervasive like things to blame. And it feels like such a knife in the side to also layer in some of these game mechanics. Like every gun is zeroed to a specific ammunition, and you can't change that, and it doesn't tell you in game which one it's zeroed to. So if you're using a different round and you're shooting somebody like, and your reticle is like on their face, on their face, on their face, on their face, like if you weren't really aware of what height over bore means, and you've got the JP Enterprises mount with the delta point on top, and you've got the wrong ammo and the thing, it's
and
like,
it said 80% durability, so the MOA is 3, which no one knows what
the
that
hell
means.
If you play video games, if you don't shoot guns, what the hell is MOA? Does the accuracy slider, what does that mean? Is it there's an accuracy stat and an MOA stat? The recoil numbers don't make sense. A new player was asking me the other day, like, he asked me this specific question, which makes sense if you're new to this game, Veritas. He said, what recoil number should I be looking to get my guns to? And I was like, don't look at that number ever. Like,
you should have said 27.
Yeah, like,
don't use anything. Don't use anything over 55. Holy shit, you'll die.
Don't
in
ever
real life.
look at that number. You know what I mean? Like, look at that number as just like you want it low, but that's all that matters. Like, don't look at it compared to any other gun. And so it just feels so bad. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just like to have the combination of those things. You know what I mean? Like, and I guess how many times we called desync or we called cheaters when it's like, because how the hell would the player know to call it what it was? You know what I mean? How the hell would the player know, oh, maybe my gun was zeroed for the wrong ammunition? You know what I mean? Or maybe the durability was affecting the MOA. And I get we're in beta. And once again, this wasn't a huge discussion I wanted to have, but it was just like, it was just interesting to watch him break it down so much and think to myself, like, oh my God, like if you were a new player, you would just think that this was like the worst made game. You would shoot people, you'd shoot them. You're like, I'm pointing at them, I'm shooting at them. What the hell is happening? It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? And then all that factors in when people talk about time to kill, because the time to kill can be perceived one way or another. Like if you're a new player, you could think the time to kill is crazy high because you're like, what the hell? But so it was just, I don't know. It's just so much to be layered into when all these other things are also going on, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. That's every Tarkov, getting Tarkov video.
Yeah.
Whether it's the illusion of choice or, you know, whether it's the one on netcode or I mean, that's all of them. I have the video pulled up and I'm trying to see, is it an interchange when they're like on the outside?
Oh, that was one. Yeah, that was one. And then there was the shoreline one where there's the second one in the video. I actually, hold on. My wife just texted me. I just got to go grab my baby monitor. Be 2 seconds. You watch that video. I'll be right back.
The real question, chat, is he going to edit this out of the video or not? I personally think pineapple on pizza is fine. I mean, I wouldn't order pineapple on pizza. Because there's just better options. But if I was somewhere and they were like, hey, we ordered pizza, and I was like, fuck yeah. And they're like, it's pineapple. Is that okay? I'd be like, I guess it's okay. It's not my first choice, but I like pineapple and I like pizza. So, I mean, honestly, I'd probably have pineapple pizza over like barbecue chicken pizza. Is like good, but it's also fucking weird. I hate you for saying that. Okay, hey, we're just talking about pizza.
Talking about pizza.
Look what I started.
But yeah, so like once again, I don't know about those clips.
Are you cutting that out?
Yeah,
by
I'll
the
cut
way.
that out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't want to put my fucking pizza hot takes.
What kind of slander were you
I was talking
slinging?
about just I would eat pineapple on pizza. I wouldn't order it, but I eat it. And then I said barbecue chicken pizza is like also like I would eat it, but I would rather have pineapple than barbecue chicken.
Oh, heresy. Listen, I love barbecue chicken pizza. I love buffalo chicken pizza. I love all
I don't
the
fuck with buffalo anything.
I like all the pizzas. The definitive answer on pizza is the best pizza is always the slice that you have in your hand. I don't care what kind of pizza you eat. If you like it, you eat it. I'm not some purist on like only Italian, the mozzarella. Like, no, dude, freaking pizza's pizza. I'm not going to put pineapple on my pizza, but like,
if you I said this, let's say you were at a Super Bowl party at your friend's house, right? You cracked the beer open, you're like, hell yeah. We ordered pizza, you're like, I'm totally down, and they're like, oh, they fucked up our order. Every pizza's pineapple pizza. You'd eat it.
I wouldn't even like make a joke about like, I would just grab the pizza, I'd flick the big pineapple chunks on top off, and I would eat the pizza.
Oh.
It would just be like, yeah, I'm not gonna leave it on. It's gross.
Wow. I'm not going to make a big deal out of it.
I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. I'm just going to take all the pizza.
I'm going to say, hey, do you have any dough and some fucking baking powder? And he would just
whip
make
my
his
own pizza.
He'd make his own fucking pizza. I'll be back in 45 minutes. You guys have a pizza stone? I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. I'm just going to go ahead and make my own fucking pizza.
Listen, that was a huge jump right there.
God almighty. What was I gonna? Oh, one of the things I wanted to say before I forget, and I'm gonna have to watch this fucking Trey thing afterwards because I hate when anybody's like, I saw a clip and this is the conclusion I came to. They're always wrong. 99% of the time, they're always wrong. So, and I like proving one peg wrong about everything. So I'm gonna have to watch that and see. And I believe Tower on basically everything he says, because so far he hasn't been wrong about literally anything.
It's a good track record.
But one of the funniest things, I didn't end up putting it in the video because it seemed a little too meme-ish.
Yeah.
But in one of Deadly's videos where he was like having, you know what? I only showed the good Deadly clips, not the good, but like the best ones because I had too many and I wanted to fit it all into one song, you know. So I ended up throwing out a bunch. But there were some where he had like a fucking red dot on like an MRS on a stock AKS 74U, and he was like from like Scav Crack House to like Sniper Rock, like he's going like plink, plink, and that was like the most intense shit. And half of the comments are like, dude, sick fights, like holy shit, like people were like, this game is fucking rad, like a sick raids, dude. And it was like, he didn't loot anything. He killed a couple of scavs. Killed like one hatchling and like a pistolling, and everybody was like, dude, fucking rad. And it's like, God, this community has changed. Like I could kill a fucking 5-man squad, and if I didn't jump from like one floor of a fucking building to the roof of another building, or I'm a fucking rat piece of shit.
Or if you didn't transfer all the loot into the broken TV 110 because the TV 110 offers more loot per square pixel, and then you could have taken a buffer tube that sells for 7 rubles. You're a garbage trash looter.
In exactly the right Scrabble fucking order. Dude, you grab the fucking 2-slot thing before the 1-slot thing. You know you got to control click into the. I fucking hate watching. I love how in some of my videos, people are like, "Wow, fucking 300 IQ looting," and then the other half of the comments are like, I had to turn this video off because of how cringe the looting was.
It's insane, bro. It's so funny.
I want to see these fucking clowns that have been playing the game for 43 days go into factory during a fucking live Raiders in factory event and fill 2 thick item cases.
Oh yeah.
And go tell me that your fucking looting was flawless when you had 2 full thick item cases full of backpacks, full of rigs, full of gear.
Yeah.
And guns and ammo and armor and meds and everything.
Also, it's like to what end? To what end? Money? I have 83 million rubles.
It's not about money. It's just,
exactly.
You're not good if you don't do it the one way.
To what end? Like, it's just like I'm doing all right. You know what I mean?
Dude, you don't loot like Landmark.
I'm doing okay.
Fuck you, shitter rat.
Yeah, it's.
I don't play the game. I've never played this game. I'm too fucking scared. I just watch Landmark play. But you're a fucking shitter, coward, rat, idiot.
Freaking Landmark killed me again the other day. I'm 0 for 4.
I mean, I killed you before that, so...
Well, I killed you first.
Basically, I killed Landmark.
I killed you first.
Okay, so does that mean that Landmark never killed you? if I kill you and then you kill Landmark and then Landmark kills me, it's null and void, right? Like
it all cancels out.
It's a no contest. That's how I think court works too.
Yeah,
like lawsuits. As long as everybody's suing another person in the triangle, everything's null and void. Yeah.
I don't even know what we were talking about, but
I don't know. I'm playing Trackmania while I'm.
Dude, it's oh, that's what I was gonna say, because you brought it back to the deadly, like, and the clips. Oh, that's what we were talking about. We were the looting, and you were saying like they were like the raids were so intense when it was like you killed a few scavs, and that was the other thing from the videos we watched earlier was like how just intense everything was, even like simple stuff, and just like how hyped they got over everything, and just like
I started the video with a zoom up clip of Deadly. I don't even show. You can see he's just like shotgun. He's like, oh, there's a defender guy. Oh god, he's fucking kid. He's kidded. He's got a 74 and a kiver. Yeah. Oh god. And then he gets out, and I ended it with him. It's honestly like the closest I'll get to like emotional watching Tarkov content, when he is like, I can't explain. What did he say? He was like, wow. I can't explain it. All I can say is wow.
If you've never played this game,
like, if you've never played this game, you won't understand what just happened. And he killed a guy with a shotgun, and then he looted two guys with stock 74s, Kiver and Zabralos. And he was like the way that people describe when they have their first child.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. Fucking, I brought life into this world, and now I see everything differently because I got a Zabralo and a Kemmer. Like, and you know, I fucking totally get it, dude. Yeah. Like, I totally get. I mean, you can see it in my earliest videos. I'm like, woo, baby, I'm fucking 100%. Looted, and it's just it's coal packs and SKSs, dude. And I'm like, oh, we're juiced, baby. Like,
dude, 100%, 100%, man. So like, I want that. I just want that back, dude. I want that to come back. And like I said, like we were talking about earlier, I get it because they're testing everything out and they're adding so much stuff. But just like, and like I said, I've been watching a bunch of JLK videos and watching a bunch of DayZ before I go to bed. I've been watching Smoke a lot again, like just getting back into that, like
Band of Brothers. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just like watching and yeah. Missing that again, where it's like it doesn't have to be all energy all the time, and that's what makes it special. I don't have to always have slicks and mutants in my stash, and then that means finding one makes it special. You know what I mean? And like,
let me ask you a question though.
Okay.
And I want an honest answer. I want you to think about it.
Okay.
Don't just tell me the thing that you wish was true.
Okay.
Think about it. Is the game ever going to feel like that ever again for you? Or
yeah.
Even if everything was rare, the rarest, there was one mutant in the fucking wipe.
Yeah. I definitely think that there's a part of it that can't be reclaimed. You know what I mean? It's like
your first time having sex.
Yeah, people. Like, I was gonna say
you'll have better sex. Like hopefully you'll have, but
yeah,
your first time hits different.
I definitely and I admit that. I just
realized most of Twitch chat has no fucking idea.
Yeah, okay. I admit that you're definitely right. There's a part of that that's never going to come back, but I definitely think that there's a part of it that can come back. I do. What is?
Dude, there's nothing better than the fucking Peepo G emote. It's my new favorite emote.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just the fucking derpy dude who's like taking notes. Yes.
Yep. Peepo G is good. Yeah, no, I don't think it's ever gonna. I don't think you can ever do that. But I genuinely think you can get like 85% of it back. Like that's my honest. We gotta bring it. We gotta bring it back.
There's no way, dude. There's no way.
I think we can get like 85% of it back. And I mean, just think about
it.
People.
It won't be the same though. It's a different kind of like heart racing.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, you've experienced it all already. You know it all already. None of it is new. There's a difference between being new and mysterious and being scared and risky and, adrenaline. So that's why I feel like a lot of us, and me included, I've just never thought about this until now, is that like what I want is it to feel like point 0.3 and point 0.4, the early days, right? It's never going to feel like that is a false
for sure
dream. It'll never happen.
Yeah.
What I want is for every fight to feel like the 1v5 did in labs today.
Yeah.
Where I was excited and I was pumped and, you know.
Yeah. I think it can, because I think it can get back to that because it would be different. Like imagine 0.3 with VoIP. How sick would that have been? You know,
none of us would have been, dude, we wouldn't have been, like, we would have all fumbled the key for VoIP.
But that's what I'm saying, is that like, it's not, for me, it's not about going back because I missed all of that, right? I came in 0.9. Like I didn't get any of that. Like, I don't want to go back. I want to go forward. I think forward,
oh shit, that's fucking philosophical.
I was actually, never mind. I want to go forward. I want to like, I think open world, I think like connecting these environments together. I think making things super ultra rare. I think making the combat more bouncy. I think adding VoIP, and like we've talked a lot about like giving the control of the content to the player and allowing them to do it. Like I think there's something, of course, any game, even a flawless, perfect 10 out of 10 masterpiece of a game, if you put 10,000 hours into, there's going to be a glint in your eye that, you're never going to get back. But I just think that like you can get a lot of the experience back. I think that's why, once again, things like DayZ still have insanely loyal fan bases, is because that formula, even though the player controller was made by a monkey, that formula works really well on like how the highs and lows of any encounter can create really fun, engaging things. You know what I mean? So, and then, this is the last thing I wanted to, we can talk about is like, I've just been thinking more and more recently about like how good, and I think we talked about this last week, how good Arena could be for the game to like, let that be the just like, you know what I mean? Just, I think that there's a universe where it just allows these two ideals of what Tarkov should be to really separate and flourish, each independently of the other. And I hope that happens.
Hey, I just hope you never use that accent ever again.
Flourish.
What is that?
Right.
Is that, that was supposed to be...
Oh, I don't know. It's not supposed to be anything. It's supposed to be flourishing.
Is that your character voice for...
Yes.
Dungeons and Dragons?
Yes. I'm a wood elf.
I'm a wood elf. Fuck you.
Wow. I said it first.
That's actually the last fucking bullet point I put there, was that I am starting my first major... I played for like 2 days before, for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons, but I consumed so much fucking content of it that on Monday, and I'll be streaming it, I'm starting a campaign.
Hell yeah.
It'll be fun. I'm nervous.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
So yeah, if any of you guys are like into that, I know it's like the definite minority of people are into, like, when I talk about speedrunning or fucking Trackmania, like, I know it's, but I also do get a ton of people that have come in like, hey, I heard about this Trackmania game. I had a bunch of people that came in like, from your description of it, I think they all assumed, remember those games that were like, they're like Game Boys, but there was only one game on them.
Oh yeah.
I think they assumed it was like some 1997 bullshit, and they were like, "Wow, like this game looks fucking amazing." It's like a modern, amazingly designed. The UI, and a lot of people came in and were like, "Yo, this is dope as hell." And there's probably been about 50 people that have all been like, "I downloaded, I tried it out, and I'm addicted."
Yeah,
I've gotten like most of my communities. It's like they're cracked out on Trackmania now. I played the same 22-second. Remember how I said last time I played it for like 10 hours? I've put in another 30 hours on the thing, and I haven't improved my time a nanosecond. And yet I'm still convinced I can get the world record. I'm still fucking convinced.
That's hilarious.
That's the ultimate copium. But yeah, anyway, so it's doing some D&D. I'm gonna be a fucking Wood Elf, Rogue, Arcane Trickster. I only basically partially know what a lot of those things are. If anybody's interested, fucking come by. Yeah, that's it.
I'd love to do D&D. I just don't have the time. You know what I mean? That would be my thing. Like if I was going to do it, I want to do it. Like I want to get into it, but that's sick. That's sick. Who are you doing it with?
So Tally Love is the DM.
Okay.
And Tally edited a bunch of my videos for a period of time.
Oh, cool.
Like a bunch of my highlights. And yeah, so and then I think there's like 4 other people, maybe 5 that other than what we've chatted in Discord, I don't know them.
That's cool.
So make some new fucking friends, and yeah, I got to figure out if I'm gonna do a character voice or not. I've watched some of my favorite content on planet Earth is, and I'm sure I've talked about this before, is the podcast The Adventure Zone.
Yeah.
It's fucking so good, and they all have like ridiculous fucking character voices half the time, and it's part of it's funny because they're just all inept. One of the people is their dad, and their dad just doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Like he's always casting spells that are like 10 levels above him from like a different class. And everybody's like, you don't have that spell. You know, like you're a level 3 cleric, you can't, cast like banishment on somebody.
That's so great.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to having some memes and making some stories, and yeah, we'll see.
That's so great. Hell yeah. Well, that's about it. The wipe is Thursday. We're getting Streets of Tarkov, and yep, all the things.
And if we don't unsubscribe from One Peg and Nice Guy.
Oh yeah, for sure. So those guys.
Yeah, because
yeah.
they promised.
Go pester Pizza Hut Gaming to make me their gaming ambassador.
Did you see my tweet to them? I just fucking pasted at JesseKazam 600 times.
Bro, I have had like, there's probably 100 at this point comments on that have tagged me. I was like, I put it in my Discord. I was like, this is the moment that we've all been waiting for. Like, you know what I mean? I've been working towards this singular thing for 3 years. Like,
we're here, men. Everybody hold the line.
Dude, 100%.
Everybody assemble. They've all got fucking pizza shields.
Dude, I was out. We were out with my family. I was out with my wife and kids, and I got the notification, and I was like, baby, I need like 10 minutes. Like, I need to respond to this tweet. I need to quote tweet it. I need to put this in my Discord. I was like, this is the moment. Like, you know what I mean? This is 3 years of pizza content in the making. I need to get sponsored.
King Hut is calling me. I'm being summoned.
I was basically like, I need them to not be able to not notice me. You know what I mean? Like, so I need everybody. So yeah, pester Pizza Hut and Pizza Hut Gaming.
I gotta like DM Shroud.
Dude. Oh my god.
Although he'll be like, well, I'll take Pizza Hut. and then I'll be like, oh, well,
Shroud, the new gaming ambassador.
Well, sorry.
Yep. Well, thank you guys for hanging. Appreciate you. A good one. Episode 99. Tune in next week for episode 100 of the podcast. Isn't that kind of crazy?
Dude, that's wild.
100. That's almost 2 years. You know what I mean?
Dude, and you don't know, like, time fucking flies too. Like, I've been listening to podcasts where I remember 100, and then it's like, we're at episode 799, and you're like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
And it just, flies by. So they grow up so fast.
They grow up so fast. So thanks for hanging. Thanks for, I still like freaking love the love that comes over. I love when I see like a first time chatter say like, yo, love the podcast. Not like love the YouTube videos, love the, like, it's like, yo, love the podcast. I'm like, hell yes, dude. So thank you guys for making this happen too. Thanks for hanging with us. It's Saturday, so this will be live up on all the platforms on Monday. Thank you guys for hanging, and we will definitely see you all in the next one.
Peace.